What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I just want to start off by saying thank you to everyone that has supported my channel thus far. I got a lot of really good feedback. I had a lot of my friends support me and tell me that they like the content that I was putting out. So that just means that I'm reaching people, and I had a lot of people say, you know, this really spoke to me. You're right, I need to live a more balanced life and whatnot. And that's the whole purpose of this channel, you guys, is just to motivate you, to inspire you, to give you some security, validation, purpose. So today I will let you know that this video is going to be a lot about God. I want to talk about spirituality and just kind of like my journey with Jesus. So if you're not interested in knowing that, you don't have to watch it. I just thought I would let you know. And also, I was recording from my phone, but this is my iPad. I know that I uploaded 3 videos from my GoPro. Those look terrible online. And I think I have like 4 or 5 that I've yet to upload that were done on my phone that I know that the quality isn't the best either. So hopefully this is better. Like I said, all that's going to get better throughout time, so just bear with me. So I guess we can start with kind of me right now is, you guys, the more that I talk to God and sing to Him, and I'm coming just at a really good relationship with Him and with myself, is I really am finding myself through that. And I think that that's such a powerful thing, is if you're lacking purpose in life, or you want some sense of direction or fulfillment, I want to let you know that God made us this way so that there's a void in your life right now that is missing, and most people can't figure out what that is, and I'm telling you right now that it's God. You could become insanely, famous or rich or this or that, and you're still going to have this emptiness inside you if you haven't found God and you haven't accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior. And I just want to let you know that I'm reading this book. I've mentioned in another video about, it's called What on Earth Am I Here For? And it is a Christian book, but it's super amazing. And it's like a 40-day challenge. But a couple of days ago I was reading and I just started sobbing because, it was talking about how God didn't promise that this life was going to be fulfilling. And that's not how He actually made us. That's why I think that there's so many people that battle depression and suicide and this and that, because they feel this void inside of them and they can't figure out what is missing. Tons of famous people, you guys, have come out saying that they battle depression, that they kind of sometimes go through a phase where they're like, what am I doing? Am I doing things right? I want to let you know that what's missing is God in your life. And I know it sounds crazy to a lot of people, especially because my life has not always been, like the Christian way. I've worked in bars. I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life. But now that I'm in this place, I realize that I was meant to be in those dark places and go through those low times, and that all of that kind of happened for a reason. And that reason is all of those things not only built me up to being where I am today, but also I think that I was meant to meet a lot of people back in the day that are now really encouraged and inspired by where I'm at now. And that's just super amazing. And that's part of, like I said, my mission in life is to reach you guys, and help open up your, expand your thought process and opinions and stuff like that. But the more that I love God, the more that I love Him, the more that I want Him, the more that I find God, the more that I find myself. Those things are documented in the Bible. And I mean, I'll be honest, I've never read the Bible. It was one of those things where it was like, I don't really have the time, or I wasn't super interested, or it was like, well, God didn't write it himself. So, but I mean, the Bible is an amazing thing that we can all learn from, honestly. And, it's like the more that I come to God, the more that I don't want to make bad decisions. And he talks to me constantly now, like if I'm feeling like, oh, well, I want to go have a drink or something, not saying anything's wrong with that. But if, and then I always think back to God, and it's just so crazy that now that I have him, I feel like I have him like standing right here besides me all the time. And, another thing too that I want you guys to know is, if you've never prayed before or anything, that when you really want to feel the presence of God, what you have to do is close your eyes and literally, as you're praying and you're speaking, literally speak to him as if he was right in front of you, and really speak from the heart and have so much meaning behind that, and you will feel his presence. It's something that I can't explain to people who haven't experienced it. I just feel incredibly blessed because I know that God doesn't touch everybody. And there's so many people that live a perfect life where they go to church every Sunday, everything, they do everything that they think a Christian is supposed to do, and God never reaches them on that level. And there's a big reason behind that is, you really have to mean it, and you really have to have like goodwill inside and accept what he's trying to tell you and how he's trying to reach you. Sometimes it's crazy, like even with some of my videos, I don't even rehearse it or anything. I just start talking, and then the words just kind of start coming out, and it just flows effortlessly. So I want to give all of that to God. Another thing is, the more that you pray about things, you gain grace. And grace is something that comes usually with maturity and with a lot of, a lot of time. And grace is a direct gift from God. That is literally him. And I've always said, if you can maintain any reputation or maintain anything in your life, make it be grace, because it will help you beyond like comprehension. With dealing with confrontation or anything like that, be graceful, meaning really process it and think about it. Think about the repercussions. Think about, is what I'm saying helpful? Is what I'm saying hurtful? Is what I'm saying going to encourage or help this person? And sometimes, usually, grace is normally taking a step back and not doing anything about it when it comes to a confrontational situation. But the presence of God in my life is so incredibly fulfilling, you guys. The more that I read the daily scripture, the more I want to, the more I look forward to that. It's really, really crazy. And I always kind of thought that it sounded crazy when Christian people would be like, well, you need to find Jesus, or I'm going to pray for you, or this or that. It almost just, because it came from an empty place in a sense. And I know, like I said, I'm sure a lot of people are looking at me like, wow, she's really, like on the Jesus train now. And that's kind of crazy, because where was she at 2 years ago? I embrace that. I admit that. I welcome that. I know those things about me. I know I have completely taken a complete new direction in life. I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. And this happens to a lot of people. So that goes too with, if you're judging someone based on their past, you have to really let that go, you guys, especially if you're interacting with people or you see this person here or there. People do change. Now, typically you are who you are, but people do change, and sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's for the worse. But I am a changed person. I totally acknowledge that, and that's, like I said, partially why I want to reach out to you guys, because I'm not in the same place that I was. That being said, I've always been a really good person, And I've always loved people in general. I always make people laugh because I'm like, my spirit animal is the elf, which most people have seen that movie with Will Ferrell, the elf. You know, like I just feel like I want to hug everybody and I want to talk to everybody, and I'm like a puppy, you know. I just love people and talking and engaging and being personable with people. I have no limitations on that. And I think part of why I am so comfortable with that is from my childhood. You know, like I've said, my mom abandoned me a lot as a child and we moved around a lot. So I kind of had to adapt and make friends quickly. And I was always, in a sense, popular, and not by what a lot of people consider popular. I wasn't a cheerleader. I didn't have the best clothes. I wasn't the prettiest. I wasn't dating the football star. I mean, none of the things that you think popular that come into mind, that wasn't me. I was popular in the sense of I was friends with, you know, the computer geeks, as you would say. I was friends with the gothics, the druggies, the cheerleaders. I mean, I was friends with everyone. So I've always had a lot of friends, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful that I am the way that I am, because I think that people that are lonely a lot of the time, it's because they're too scared or they're too introvert, which is okay too. But, you know, to really reach out to people and to make friends. You know, I can't tell you how many times, especially in Maui, like I've said, I'm going to do a lot of interviews with some of the homeless community if they're comfortable with that. And if they're not, I want to let you guys know, I will just record myself and kind of talk about the conversation that I had and this and that. I would love to record those, but once again, my purpose isn't to make them uncomfortable. So I really want to actually get to know these people and let them know that I care about them, because a lot of the homeless community, you guys, like here on Maui, there's actually a really great support system physically for them. Medical care, shelters, a lot of places like the Red Cross give out like food and water and blankets and clothes and stuff like that. But where's the mental health? You know, a lot of these people don't have people that genuinely care about them. So my point is, I've ran into so many homeless people, and you know, like it will start off with a brief hello, and then I actually stop and I take a minute and I'm like, how are you today? And it's crazy because a lot of the time they're just kind of like shook, like, whoa, she's really like talking to me, like, wow, you're so pretty, and you know, you're really nice, or you know, or they'll say stuff like that. And it's like, because I want them to know, sometimes you guys, you doing a little act of kindness like that can make the world of difference to somebody's life. I mean, so don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. And God speaks to you, you guys, in so many ways. We're all guilty. It's not your conscience. When you hear something being, like, when you're told something in your mind, like, for example, if you see someone suffering on the street and you think, oh, wow, I should pull over, but, you know, I can't really. That's God speaking to you directly. I don't think that that's just your own thought process. No, that is coming directly from him upstairs. So I think we really need to listen to that a lot, and you need to take time out of your day, because there are so many ways to serve Jesus. And that's another thing that I want to talk about is serving God isn't just going to church. It isn't just reading the Bible. It isn't just, you know, doing things that you think make you a good person. There's so much depth into giving and loving God. And remember, God is a kind God. He's a loving God. God gets pleasure when you're happy. It puts a smile on his face, you guys. When you're having a good time, Jesus is smiling down on you, because that's what he created us for. He didn't create us to work all the time and to buy things and get a good house and a car and all the Gucci bags and this and that, you know. He created us to just live and to be happy. You know, like I've always said, he is the Father above. He created this world for our enjoyment. He created our taste buds so we could taste things, our nose so we could smell things, you know, our touch so we could feel things, and that love in our heart and that compassion, that sadness, that emotion. Those are all things that he gave to us as gifts. So sometimes it's good to be happy. God is a loving God. He wants to see you happy. And he wants to see you loving one another equally. Puts a smile on his face when you do a nice thing for somebody. And like I said, so back to giving, there's so many ways to give to God. It's not always donating to the church. Sometimes it's taking your time to talk to somebody, get to know them, and then if they start opening up to you, you need to plant it and you need to listen, because more than likely that person's going to impact your life, or you're going to impact their life, and there could be a wonderful bond that could be created that could change both of your lives, even if it's just for a brief moment and you never see that person again. One thing that I want to talk about that's just a small example that I've noticed, how you reaching out to someone can completely change your mentality, was I was in Nassau, the Bahamas, or Atlantis, whatever, I think last summer. And long story short, I'm at this really nice resort and I'm waiting in line at the breakfast buffet, and there's people in line for the omelet station where the lady makes the omelet, and I'm watching this lady and I'm really paying attention to her demeanor. And, to each person, there's probably 4 people in front of me, and she's, what will you have? And so they tell her what they have. She flips it, she makes it, and gives it to them, right? So I walk to her, she, same thing, what will you have? And I said, hello. And she's like, hi. And I'm like, how are you today? And she's like, I'm good, I'm working hard. I said, you're doing a great job, thank you so much. And she just, like, you guys, it brings tears to my eyes, because it was just such a small interaction and so brief. And I just watched like this light, like she was like, making her stuff. And then it was like somebody asked her, hey, hold on a second, how are you doing? You're doing a good job. Thank you so much. And she was smiling, and I just saw like this light, and I looked into her eyes, and I'm like, you have really pretty eyes, And she was just like so happy. And who knows, it could have just been a nice like little compliment for her that morning, just to kind of give her a little kick in her step, Just the briefest things, you guys, can really impact somebody. And like I said, it impacted me. That's a brief memory that I'll never forget. And it's so crazy. And I've had people tell me before, like, you should see how you affect people sometimes, because I'm always complimenting people. I'm always about complimenting. I love telling people, you look pretty, or I like your haircut, or, I just love that. And then seeing them light up, and then it makes me happy. And once again, that's from God. When you're making them happy, it's affecting your happiness. And that goes with the saying, success comes from giving, not getting, because you get that fulfillment, and those memories are what really stand out. So there's so many ways to give, giving your time to someone, donating $1, taking the time out of your day to listen to somebody. I mean, there's so many different ways to worship. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't really have any direction, or you don't really want to come to Jesus or anything like that, it has to be on your own time, and that's okay. But I'm just here to help you know that there's no perfect way. And if you just take a minute to really pray from your heart, and you close your eyes and you're speaking to him as if he were right in front of you, he listens, you guys. I've had so many times in my life where I prayed and I was amazed at the answers that I got, and just like, that was not a coincidence. Or, like where I've been in my past, those places weren't coincidental. Everything was meant for a reason. My time in Dallas happened for a reason. I have some of the best friendships I've ever had, and part of me thinks that that was my reason to go to Dallas, was to make those bonds and those friendships. And now I'm impacting people. And that goes along with, too, when you're kind to people, you support people. I've always been a friend that if somebody asked me, hey, will you write a letter for me? I'm about to go get sentenced for jail time or something. I've always been that person that's like, yeah, no problem. Let me just take a couple of minutes to write something up. No problem. Or, supporting my friend right now in Maui. She has a LHB, which is Love, Health, and Balance, brand that she's building. And she gave me a little sticker the other day, and I was like, I want to support her. So I put it on my water bottle, and it makes me proud to wear it, put it on there and then it made her so happy. She was so excited that I put it on my water bottle. Just little things like that, you guys. And so now, I shared a lot of my content with some of my friends on Instagram, and I'm just getting all this all these people that are giving me this love and this support and this encouragement. And so that goes along with, you impact people more than you think. And, I'm just thankful that I have a kind heart, because now I have so many people in my life that I interact with, sometimes once every couple years, sometimes more than others, but it's wonderful. I feel like my kindness hasn't gone unnoticed. And there are times when I have down days, and people that I've reached out to were like, hey, you're a really good person. And the best compliment in my eyes that you can get is just when people are like, you have a heart of gold, you're a good person. So I just want to let you guys know that it's never too late to come to God. He has blessed my life and blessed me internally and physically. And when you pray too, make sure that you're praying the right way. There is a wrong way and there is a right way. Like I said, the first one, don't make it empty. Make it meaningful. And two, try not to demand things from God. Like one thing, for example, is when I was trying to look for a job, I kept praying to Jesus, and I said, Jesus, I trust you, and please just lead me in the path to the right job. Not just any job. Please, Jesus, lead me in the path to the right job. And I'm going to trust you, and I'm going to have faith that you put me on the path to where I need to be. And now I have a job and I really like it. So, or for example, if you're longing for a relationship, pray for the right relationship to come around. But also you need to pray to Jesus and let him know that you trust him in whatever path he does give you. I've said before, if I am single for the rest of my life, I have to be okay with that. So anyways, you guys, I know this video was kind of long. We're already at 21 minutes. Hate to bore you. But yeah, that's just some little things that might help you and encourage you to reach out to people, to sometimes go out of your way just to say something nice, compliment people. When you do that, it's serving God. When you're happy and you're enjoying your life, that is serving God. Worship goes so far beyond what people think it is. So, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I want to connect with you guys, and I really am here for you. If you feel like you're depressed or you're alone or you don't have anyone, you can reach out to me, and I will do my very best to reach out to you and really connect with you and help you. If you're struggling with something, let me know. I want to help you guys. So I hope you're having a good day. Thank you so much.